Lovely, Charles. Thank you so much for your time on this podcast and for writing Euroshock. I've enjoyed this. Does not have, it speaks to someone who may not necessarily have a background in economics. It's like a fiction, but it's very much true, where you take us into those hallowed, one of the meetings happened in a place where Napoleon was married, is what you
Oh,
say, what you
yes,
write, right?
yes. At the headquarters of BNP Paribas. They've now shifted their headquarters now, but we were sitting in the room where he was married centuries ago. There's a lot of history in Europe, and you have to
Yeah.
admire that history, but you have to learn from that history at the same time, right? And I think this is why it's so important that European leaders and global leaders learn from this period of crisis. The IMF needs to learn, and this is a final point I would point out, is the IMF did not handle the negotiations as well as it could have, particularly in terms of managing the fiscal austerity in the Greek economy during the crisis, because they probably asked for more belt tightening than Greece was capable of at the time. And as a result, this may well have increased unemployment beyond what needed to happen. These things are not difficult, but I think it's always important when you go through these crises to step back, catch your breath. We can do that now in Greece because they're on the rise. But we still have to ask ourselves, what are the lessons learned? And that's part of the reason why I wrote this book.
And will Marcus Aurelius be proud of you? You read his Meditations, among other books, where you did not lose your mind when you did not agree with the IMF, or you sat quietly when Sarkozy did his
Well,
histrionics.
I don't know whether he'd be proud of me, but I think that we all could benefit in the midst of crisis with a bit of focus and stoicism. Let me put it that
Lovely.
way. And Marcus Aurelius was certainly a great inspiration in that respect. It's a pleasure talking with you, and I'm honored to
Thank you,
have been on
Charles.
your
Identical. My
podcast.